Unique Lego connections for your city. If you take a grass piece, you can attach it to a pneumatic hose piece by putting the top of this grass piece into the little hole. The same thing can be done with this bar and clip piece, which has a little hole in its handle, and that can also be attached onto the top of the grass piece. A grass stem can also fit onto these little holes on top of the door. I'm not sure when any of these techniques would be helpful, so let me know down in the comments if you can think of any use case for them. An open stud, such as the top of this 1x1 round cone, can be attached onto the eyepieces on a pair of binoculars. I'm not sure who could use this in a city either, so let me know what you guys build with it. These 1x2 snot bricks are super helpful, but if you don't want to use those, you can use these neck bracket pieces and put the neck hole piece onto a stud. This does technically make a small gap as opposed to a regular snot brick, but sometimes that's preferable. A tile piece can be attached onto the round piece that fits onto the bottom of a lever piece. A plate won't work, but for some reason, the edge of a tile piece is made in such a way that it can fit into the little slot on the bottom of a lever piece. Two 2x4 bricks can be attached together using 2x1 slope pieces shoved into the corner walls of the 2x4 brick. You can then take another 2x4 brick and shove them together to make this interesting piece. This is helpful for reversing your build. If you want to offset something by half a brick, you can take the little hole on a 1x1 round brick and attach it onto the small circle on the bottom of a 1x2 brick. This leaves a small half brick gap. The same technique can be used by taking a 1x3 slope and attaching that small gap there onto a stud. This allows the 1x3 slope to be overhanging the brick by half a brick width. You could use this to make an interesting awning that's different than just having it overhang by one brick. The same technique can be used with a jumper plate because the bottom of the jumper plate has those 3 areas for a stud to fit onto. You can use the middle of the 3 areas to attach it onto a stud, which gives it that same half brick offset. I like to use this technique with jumpers to make the outside of my buildings much more detailed. That same half brick offset can also be achieved by using that tiny dot on a plate or tile and attaching it onto the hole of a snot brick. Once again, that leaves this little half brick gap. Here you can see that I also did the same technique by using a 1x2 bracket piece and attaching those open studs onto the back of a tile, leaving that same half brick gap. Basically, this technique can be applied to any tile, brick, or plate because they all have these little dots on them, and then those little dots can be attached onto any open stud piece, such as the snot bricks or bracket pieces or any other open studded piece. One substitute for snot bricks is to take the hole on the back of a brick and attach it onto a Technic pin brick. This will give you a similar effect to using a snot brick. You can use this same technique by taking the back of a plate or brick and using those same bigger holes and attaching them onto a snot brick or the top of another brick. I believe this also gives you a half brick gap. The back of a headlamp piece can be attached onto other bricks by using that square hole. 2 plates can be attached to each other by taking one plate and attaching it to the exact middle of another plate. This might stress the studs out, but that's okay. Something that doesn't stress the studs out is by using this same technique, but using a tile instead of another plate. If you want to use something that's the opposite of a snot brick, you can take a stud and attach it into the holes of a Technic brick. I described this as the opposite of a snot brick because it actually reverses the brick that's attached to it, whereas a snot brick will make the pieces go the other way. The open studs can also have a bar piece pushed into them. This is a more basic technique, but the same thing can be applied to a Technic pin. A bar can also be attached onto the holes of a bracket piece. This is the same concept as we used earlier when talking about the bottom pins on a Lego brick. Clips, such as the bar and clip piece here, can actually be attached onto the sides of plate and tile pieces. Clip plates can also be attached to themselves by attaching one clip onto the other clip. This connection is not very strong, so be careful when you're using this in your Lego city. The next technique takes a 2x2 round piece and attaches it onto the bottom of a 2x2 brick piece. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. And please let me know if there's any connections that I missed. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you used any of these techniques in your Lego city.